Hello, I'm TV Steve and I do jokes and shit. There's a thin line between genius and madness. That sounds like a shit dictionary. Oh, somebody's laughing in the other room, that's nice, thank you. I was watching this programme on television the other day. It was all about inventions. It was quite interesting. You know what I wish I had invented? Drawing boards. You know, like back to the drawing board. That's funnier than you're giving it credit for. Okay. Have you heard of the New World Order? Worst cover band ever. Now you don't want to tell them because they come back to your house and they can be a bit narky. Cannabis has a bad reputation among some people. I think that's because there aren't more comedians doing jokes like this. Oh, I can really feel the medicinal benefit of that. Oh, I feel so loose now that my chronic back pain is under control and managed. Oh, I can see, I can see everything, and I can see really clearly now that my headache's gone. Oh, that's nice. Even a pretend joint. Oh, that's good. Brings back Christmas. Oh, you know what? I think I'll stay in bed for the week and watch box sets and eat all the chocolate now that my menstrual cramps are under control. Now, apparently, according to some people, I heard somebody say sexism. Apparently, according to some people, that can be construed as being sexist because I'm making mockery of menstrual cramps or period pains, if you want to call them that. I'm not. I'm making mockery of the other thing, which is getting stoned and staying in bed for a week, watching box sets and eating all the chocolate. Come on, people, nobody eats chocolate like that anymore. It's going swimmingly. Speaking of sexism, which I wasn't, but it's a quick segue into something. Some of my female friends still complain that they can't spend time alone in a bar or a club or a pub without some man coming over and trying to save them or trying to spend some time in their company. I think it's unfair. I mean, in the interest of fairness, I'm sure there must be some couples who found each other in a pub, club, or whatever situation, and they got together, and it was all wonderful, and the soulmate, and they just had wondrous adventures forever and ever. But it doesn't happen often. I just think it's unfair because when I go to a pub, club, or a bar on my own, no one's chatting me up. Yeah, well, you can see why. Maybe that's just me. I think what should happen, or maybe think about it this way, what should happen is, because we are essentially just animals, you know, we have language and we have clothes and we have all this affectation of civilization, but we are just basically beasts in a field. So what should happen is this. The guy comes over, oh, excuse me, miss, do you fancy a fuck? No? Oh, okay, right, sorry to bother you. Right, who's next? But it doesn't happen like that. He'll be sitting in the corner, and he's going, oh my God, I've just seen a woman on her own over there, and she looks weak and feeble, and oh, I know what, maybe I should go over and I should save her in case the predators come over and try and hassle her, and make her feel uncomfortable. So he thinks, he goes, oh, think, what is it? Oh, okay, do you want a glass of whiskey? No, that won't work, hang on. He goes, do you want a pint of beer? No, that's not going to happen, that's not going to happen. The heroin's kicked in. And he looks over again and he sees she's reading a book, so he goes, oh, she's sophisticated. She must be one of those strong, independent women that I hear about. Oh, maybe she wants a bottle of wine. And he's thinking and he's winding himself up. And instead of using all this nervous energy to do something constructive and come over and be reasonably competent, he comes stumbling over and goes, all right, love, you reading a book? Do you want a box of wine? I'm having one. And after he's been thoroughly rejected and he stands in the corner going, no, not again. And do you know what she does? She backs up her staff, and a few minutes later she leaves, and then she rings me up and she says, "Hey Steve, you know you're trying to write a joke about how women are still feeling uncomfortable in social situations, in pubs and clubs. Well, guess what just happened to me?" And I listen, and then a few minutes later she tells me off for being late and not getting in touch with her and letting her know that I was going to be late. So it turns out I'm a shit man with no manners and no sense of self-awareness at all as well. Well, that went better in rehearsal. Moving on. I've got a gay joke for you. It's not my joke. I'm not averse to writing a gay joke, but this is a joke. Now, obviously, as a straight, white, middle-aged, middle-class man, I can't remember who it was who did the joke originally. I'm thinking it might be somebody called Pam Am. So you want to look her up and Google her in the break. But the joke goes like this. So there's a comedian in the middle of nowhere, and she's halfway through her set, and this little voice at the back goes, "Excuse me, ma'am." I think he was from Peel, I'm not sure. "Excuse me, ma'am." Well, maybe she's moved. But she's still got the accent. I don't know. It's just a joke, just a joke. "Excuse me, ma'am, are you a lesbian because you had a bad sexual experience with a man?" And there's a couple of titters and guffaws around the room. Not like now, of course, where everyone will be fucking kicking off. "Well, either you should know better than you." Well, we'll leave that. Let's go back to the proper joke. "Excuse me, ma'am, are you a lesbian because you had a bad sexual experience with a man?" And there's a titter and a guffaw around a little bit. And she looks over and she goes, "Honey," because I think she's from Peel too. But maybe she moved, I don't know. She lives in America now. "Honey, if every woman who had a bad sexual experience with a man became a lesbian, there wouldn't be any straight women left in the world." Typical, isn't it? Best laugh of the night, and it's not even my joke. Pam Am, her name is. Look her up. So let's see. I think I've done that one, that one, that one, that one. Oh, racism, racism. So 2020, a year of enlightened vision, broader horizons, and open minds. Oh, needle scratch. No, 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 no. Now here's a local joke for you. I don't know if anybody saw this thing in the paper this week about that tunnel that they're going to build from over there through here and going over to Northern Ireland. Now I saw some posts about that on Facebook last weekend. It is based on an article that was in the Sunday Times. Have you heard about this? Is anybody vaguely? No, right. Well, let me tell you all about it. So I know a bit about this. There was this thing a few years ago, a television program with these futurologists who are people who tell you how it's going to be and how technology and everything changes and develops. And there's this idea with all these high-speed trains, super mega highways and all these tunnels, that sometime in the next few decades, you are literally going to be able to go right around the world without leaving the ground. So it's a real thing, and they're spending money on it. And there were a couple of posts on Facebook about it, and I thought, oh, this should be interesting. So I scrolled down to the comments, and there's a couple of comments from somebody doing all the technical specs about how it couldn't happen, somebody doing all the technical specs about how it could happen, and I'm scrolling down and thinking, here we go. And I quote, "This is a terrible idea. They built a tunnel under the English Channel and we all know how badly that turned out. Oh, I know what they mean, fuckers." And I scrolled through a few more times and it's, no, oh my God, this would ruin our way of life. Now I was going to add my own comment to the thing, but I didn't because I thought, well, I need the laughs tonight, so I'm going to save it till now. And this was going to be my comment, and it was going to be ha ha ha. Really amused to see how easily some of the Manxious are so well triggered because of this. We should spread the rumour around that Howard Quayle is all for it, but only on condition that the Mexicans pay for it. Of course, it didn't create as much of a shitstorm as a few years ago when somebody dared to post the comment, "Hey, what's your favourite, dogs or cats?" Now that shit went pretty violent pretty quickly. Well, I'm rushing through this, I'm about done. Don't worry, you can breathe soon enough. We'll get some proper acts on in a minute. But I want to leave you with some philosophy. There's an expression called one horse town. I'm not sure what it's about. I presume it's a town and it's got one horse. But here's my advice. If you do live in a one horse town, you want to be the person that sells the horse feed. Thank you very much. There's plenty more to come. Get your beer in, put some money in the buckets and all that sort of stuff. Get your dance done. And remember, play nice. Good night. I was just about to lose.